Ask me anytime, any place what my favorite game of all time is, and I will tell you World in Conflict. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Regiments, a game that is a Cold War RTS game that has a DLC now, a Winds of Change DLC. Now, previously, this had some major updates and some new content added, and if you're a big fan of, for example, Wargame Red Dragon or the upcoming game known only as Broken Arrow, this game is outstanding and is definitely one to try. Now, it plays a lot more like Wargame, and I know Wargame is getting a new faction very soon. Mamma mia, Italy's coming for Wargame, so we might jump back into that one. But of course, with Broken Arrow on its way, it always makes me appreciate one of the first RTS games that I fell in love with for the Cold War, of course, World in Conflict. I hope one day we get a sequel for that. There is probably a 0.001% chance of that ever happening, but I will always remain hopeful for that game. Well, anyway, this DLC, Winds of Change, adds almost like a new roguelike mode, which I've never really seen before in a game other than like city builders and like, like dark fantasy games. But in reality, this game now allows us to command even more units than ever before. I've started a little campaign here as the Czechoslovakian units, and it's added new factions now, such as the Czech, and also, of course, we have more stuff for NATO and Warsaw to toy around with, helicopters, aircraft, new stuff for all of them, and also a way to play that kind of goes in advance to the campaign. So typically this game is enjoyed with a skirmish mode where you can play against the AI. Then there's operations, which are kind of like set missions through a campaign that goes up 7 chapters, and then a second wave DLC, which was kind of a free update back in 2022. It technically has had a DLC before, but you can consider that just like a free update for everybody. If you download the game, you got it. But this is separate and paid, and no really price yet. But what I've seen here is also troops of the Netherlands being added. Yeah, we got Dutch troops here now and more units for like Canada, France. There's no voice acting at the moment for the Netherlands, but thank you again to Microprose for sending over a key like 2 weeks in advance. They're still finishing up some things with the maps and some of the voice acting and whatnot, as they've been focused more on balancing things out. But I love this. I love the fact that we have a roguelite mode where random things can happen. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and start here randomly just to see all the different types of things that we can do in this game. Now, for example, if you're playing as the Americans' 1st Brigade, 3rd Armored Division, you get all sorts of different units that you can call in, some of which are West German, and also, of course, American units, too, that have different types of makeups to them. So we can call in, like, a Task Force Hammer, which comes with a couple of tanks here you can see, and then, of course, we can also get, like, Apaches or Cobras if we want to, which is really sweet. So you can call these things in, build onto your main units, so then you can, of course, have your main army, then some things to mix it up a little bit. This has been in the game before. Add some supplies to it. Then you can go to your events, which are going to be randomized, and then, of course, you can add more things to your campaign, so you can have it so that way AI allies will show up, or perhaps something bad will happen. The enemy will get electronic warfare advantage over you, and maybe you won't get things like air support, or reinforcements won't come in, that kind of thing. And then you can then, once you load in, choose for a few different things to happen. Now, if you've already watched this far in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and become a member today, and I'll be calling out all those deserters who jump to the middle of the video and miss out on all this information. This is what separates this game from its vanilla version, and this is also, of course, what makes it different from other games, but also very much the same and similar. All right, we're going to go ahead and see what will happen, and it's giving us some instructions as to this mission, which is randomized again, protecting convoys now. So every time that we play, it kind of reminds me of if you saw Homeworld 3's roguelite mode. Really liking a lot of these random, like, hey, here's a scenario and go deal with it. So it really makes it so you can't prepare. You've just got to rely on your skills. Now, you can also plan out your campaign, too, where you can have, like, maybe 20 different missions come up so that we can choose how long your deployment will be. And, of course, all of your units, I'm fairly sure that they take over your veterancy. Like, any of the skills that they gain in battle, they gain in the next battle. And they can also be replenished if they've taken losses. It's war, so obviously you're going to lose some Abrams, some Bradleys are going to explode, some helicopters are going to crash, whatever, and you'll need to replenish those, so you'll do so in between at that screen that we saw. We can also build defenses, and we can also build like mortar emplacements, not just, like barbed wire and like tank traps, but also we can set up like anti-tank traps, like anti-tank emplacements, mortar emplacements, and also like anti-air and machine guns and observation posts that are essentially just like a vehicle dug in, like a little Humvee can be dug in here like in the field, and hopefully the enemy doesn't see it, and then you'll be able to kind of have eyes on the whole area here. So that's how you'll spawn in. So a very cool game that way. It really reminds me a lot of like Steel Division, more so than Wargame, but obviously don't get me wrong. I mean, the map and all of this is like 110% Wargame Red Dragon for sure. But it plays a little bit more like Steel Division, but I feel like the heart here is in World in Conflict, because this is the mission mode that I've always wanted for Wargame. Well, actually, Wargame could use this too. I'd love to see it. And they're still upgrading Wargame Red Dragon, so there's still hope. But of course, I had also forgotten to mention Warno. Warno, Steel Division 2, of course, the classic Ruse, World in Conflict. I mean, they're all outstanding. Airland Battle, European Escalation, and of course Red Dragon for the Wargame series, all great. And yeah, Warno is no exception. So anyway, let's jump back and actually think about things. I just wanted to quickly show off what you'll be facing in this game. And again, remember, there's a full playable campaign for like the Soviets and the Warsaw Pact and the NATO Pact. And now we've got access to like Czech units and Dutch units, and it's pretty cool. So, Godverdomme, let's go. Let's get started with the new Warpaths game mode, 4 Winds of Change. We're going to go ahead and start a new playthrough as a coalition of the Warsaw Pact, and we'll go for the Czechoslovakian units. I've been to the Czech Republic recently and also Slovakia. Gorgeous, gorgeous countries, as well as Poland and, of course, Germany and a few other places I've been. But as for the Czechoslovakian units, then we're going to choose one maybe that's got a little bit on the tankage side. Look like this one here has T-72s and some artillery, the Dana, which is one of my favorite from Wargame. That I really loved using all the time. We can also have ourselves a, if we want to, look at this. We got a few different opponents as well. We have NATO, CENTAG, NORTAG, so you can actually break it down to what type of NATO units you want to fight. So then you can see here that you can limit yourself to the Netherlands with the United States support, and or like the Bon Axis, which is mostly, looks like United Kingdom, Belgium, pretty much everybody but Germany. Well, actually, West Germany is there too, so it's a random chance, but probably a lot less German units that you'll encounter. So, and Belgian units have been here for a while too, and I'm happy to see them. But let's go against maybe all of NATO just to see what we get. Maybe we'll see some of those Dutch forces. Actually, let's switch that up. Let's go 4 against the possible Dutch units here under Bon Axis, I think it was. No, it was under CENTAG. Nope. Under the the third one. There we are. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and just leave everything medium, which I guess is the standard settings. We could also give ourselves more time if we want to. We can create random events as well. They'll be hidden and selected randomly, but for today's purposes, we'll just pick what we got, and we'll just kind of go straight down the middle with what's already been chosen for us. All right, so in addition to this division, we're going to add a few other teams or forces to them. So we can add helicopters, we could add mechanized tanks or whatever. And so I guess what we'll go with is there's a little bit more of an emphasis on helicopters this time. So we'll go with the Air Assault Task Force. So now we can have heliborne troops so they can actually drop out of these Mi-8Ts. So we'll add those units to our forces. Then we're also going to add an artillery unit, which was this unit here with the Dana. Man, the Czechs really know how to make vehicles, man. Czechoslovakian people are just like geniuses when it comes to that stuff. Oh, have we already spent our points? Let me just check. Oh, operational authority. We have 85. This will cost us 155, so another thing to keep in mind. But also keep in mind that the more battles we win and the more asses we kick, the more points we'll get to do these types of things. So you can see here, next course of action could be proceed with main plan, recon in force. So I think that'll be our mission or objective, and then you can see previous operations that we've done. So there's different stages of each operation. It could be anything from defending from invasion to intercepting enemy forces that are just moving through an area to defending an evacuation zone, that kind of thing. So we'll go with what we got with the helicopters then. That should be rather useful for us. And a recon unit too, so that's kind of cool. We'll be able to get those forces together. But you know what I'd actually like to do instead? We're going to use them. I want to bring out attack helicopters, but this is new, so let's definitely do that. So buying any of these things down here will cost us further operational authority, so we could get more deployment points, so we could call out more units. And I think these points do carry over. Let me just check here. Can be converted to other types of points used and requested and upgrade existing ones. I think these do carry over to the next mission, but since we're here just for the launch of the new DLC coming up, by the way, in a few weeks, I think on April, sorry, that's way behind, August 18th or August 16th, somewhere between there. But yeah, And of course, it's all subject to change based on their development. But let's get some allies and see how the AI will do. Oh, 150 deployment. Oh, wait a minute. I kind of want the surge instead. All right, to battle. So we're going to do recon and force, which means that we're going to be deploying and basically looking around for the enemy, destroying anything that moves, and, you know, trying to secure some points. So we will do that as soon as we spawn in. And there we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and look around what our objective is. Scout out remaining forces, 35. So we need to go find them. We need to then take Ishim and Kama. So these are all controlled by blue. So it looks like we're on the attacking force in general. And we're attacking from down here, just at the bottom of this road here. So Czech forces will be arriving. We've already got some security here, too. The game is gracious to give us at least some security, which is basically troops with RPGs and maybe a few MGs and whatnot to make it so that way the enemy can't just easily walk in. We're going to go with our tanks. We're going to get them arriving right off the bat. We're going to go with tanks because, of course, we're in an open field. And we're also going to get some artillery because they're more than likely dug in at that first position. And then we're also going to call out that our recon. That's what we want. There it is there. Wait, does it say? One of these are recon. Fire support as well. Very nice. Oh, we got man pads, which will be useful later on. Actually, maybe we'll get a chopper up, too, just to hammer the enemy when we find them. And then I do want to call out those airborne troops, but it would be unwise to call them out without recon. So let's do it. Perfect. They'll be our recon then. All right, what else do we have for points to deploy? Looks like we have 5 points on our left side. We can recon the area in advance, and it costs us nothing. So because we're already a recon force, we get free recon. So actually, we could complete this mission without even taking a loss if all we got to do is scout out enemy forces. We still are tasked, though, with taking some of these new places. So we got to at least capture here at Mista to then go to Ishim on the right, and then probably Mezin because it's there, and then it looks like Kama's right over there. So we might want to take this whole corridor here. So Czech forces will push, Czechoslovak forces will push forward, go to the right, left, and then swing through that way. At least that's my plan. But we'll see if it survives contact with the enemy. All right, let's go ahead and... wow, look at those supplies, too. And look at all those extra points we've got. Let's spend it on more units. Of course, we can only call out so many tanks. We are limited on certain things, which is cool. Really makes it a little bit more challenging to do the right thing. We do have several groups of tanks, though, so we can call out more than one in some cases. So, yeah, pretty cool that we can call out many forces over time. Let's begin. And any of you who speak Czech, let me know how that voice acting is. It's a pretty language. Alright, let's get Mi-24Ds up. Those will be our attack choppers. We'll let our Mi-8Ts swing to the right side, which are our troop transports. And the Dana are ready to go with artillery. And they've got a pretty damn good range and accuracy. Now, we just got line of sight on the enemy, it looked like, when I called in that recon. It looked like there was a little... something dug in there, maybe? We're firing with no line of sight on the enemy, but let's also see where we could drop our forces. There's the ability to retreat, unload over here. Let's go ahead and do that right up here, please. Unwise to keep our tanks out in the open, but I don't see enemy artillery. Let's put those on command, too. I want our choppers to drop there. Looks like these are rather skilled troops. And the choppers can still provide air cover if needed. Nothing's under attack. We're being counter-artilleried. Our artillery will take a little bit of time to move. Go ahead and reverse. Okay, let's have our troops move up. Scout out enemy positions. They're mad. This is really cool. I mean, how tactical you have to be in this game really does feel like it's somewhat of a chess move from time to time. I really admire it. It very much plays like, I don't know, it felt roguelike before, and I didn't know that's what it was by getting missions that kind of had you do things like securing the airfield. And it was much more than Wargame, because Wargame just has a bunch of, and Warno 2 have just random squares that sometimes don't mean anything, and even Broken Arrow is kind of like that to some extent, although some objectives are more important. But I feel like with World in Conflict, for example, when you were tasked with taking an objective, it was important for a reason, to secure a valley or a highway or to blow up a bridge, because it was an important key objective for an overarching campaign. as were, it was just like, hey, go take objective Bravo because it's over there, you know, that kind of thing. So I do like how it seems to have some sort of importance to it. Looks like our units are actually repairing. They must be, I guess it's because we're within our initial starting square. So good area for artillery to then take control. Go ahead and attack, move. Is there a way to do that? Retreat, don't want to do that. That's probably attack, move as well. I've gotten out of these games for a while, man. I went and played, you know, a ton of Men of War Assault Squad, and then went on to play a lot of Call to Arms, but these games are still great. No matter how rusty you are, how long it's been since you played, definitely play these games. These games are great. Everyone should feel welcome. This, of course, is single player, and no news on multiplayer, but maybe one day. All right, let's go ahead and get our Czechoslovak artillery firing again. Czechoslovakian artillery is firing. Hind Ds are firing. He's a little low on ammo, so go ahead and head on back. I did a double Q retreat, so that way he's just going to get out of here and go give us points as quickly as possible. The music's also kind of bleak and very interesting, this game. I like it, man. And I'm really happy to see Microprose almost acting like the hooded horse of these RTS games. And I feel like, obviously, Eugen Systems has been like that for quite some time, too. So really, really proud to see these guys thriving and surviving in a market that is just filled with AAA fluff oftentimes. All right, we now have a unit back there that we see. Now, we shouldn't get a break in our line of sight. We should actually be able to clearly see those units with our recon, but we can see that there's something back there, a 60% cover. And we need to start pushing. Unfortunately, for our forces, we have a timeline, and we have to maintain that for the line. So we have to attack. We can't be as picky as I am now. We need to get in there, so I need to make sure we call out a few more things. So another chopper would be good, more infantry. More troops on this right flank. Of course, this is a highway. So we'll try to use the highway and then swing around. So there goes our transports. Counter artillery on our tanks. This is good. If they're artillerying our tanks, that means we can artillery anything they've got. And hopefully they don't attack our infantry. Alright, choppers are leaving. Infantry has arrived. And we're calling out our specials on the left side too, like we've got a napalm strike from an Su-25, which is cool. But we do have to build up a little bit before we attack. We can't just keep sending troops out one at a time. Ooh, and one of our tanks got hit there on the nose. T-72Ms are quite capable tanks. They're good. They're pretty good, but they're not outstanding by any means. And look at that, our troops having ATGMs with them, hitting the enemy positions. What seems to be American? No, those look to be. What's on that arm patch? German? Question mark? Oh yeah, they're German. All right, so we're facing off against West German forces here. Beautiful. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and push our forces forward. And those transports can come up this way, too. Let's have the Danas come up this way. Ooh, counter artillery. That seems to be mortars. Those troops need to be careful. Let's hit him, let's hit him. All right. Good job, boys. Opravdu dobre. Wishing them a dobre rano. And eventually a good night. T-72 is damaged, though, but we need to keep pushing to that objective. I'm going to have that one group ignore that fire. And I'm going to have the second group close. Streliki coming in. Exit. Troops now deploying with the vehicle. And they'll hammer those vehicles shortly. Infantry getting hammered, but the tanks providing support where they can. Let's go ahead and artillery now that the artillery has moved. German Martyr 1's there, very capable. I've driven one of these before, and that is quite a speedy infantry fighting vehicle, and so speedy that I think they're actually retreating. Yes, indeed they are. Not before we got them, though. Double. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of here with our tanks. We're going to retreat them. I'm going to actually have them pop smoke and get out of here. And it's going to be up to our infantry now to clear the area. Leopard 1A5s. Not good. Czech are going to have Czechoslovak troopers are going to have a little trouble with that. But they do have ATGMs. And unfortunately, they're getting hit by mortar support. We need to flank right away. Oh, that sucks. All right. Well, it looks like they somehow were able to survive that. Let's have these forces circle around. Okay, we need more reinforcements here. Let's get that helicopter back up. I want more troops up on this right side. We're going to also work on this town here, so thus we're going to need more infantry. And look at that, plus AT, so that's beautiful. The Leo 1 is going to have some trouble surviving up against that road because we're going to take it from the right side, and there's a lot of infantry coming up from behind them. And that tank's going to have to just get out of there. Or not. Oh, there they go. Another hit. And a kill. Beautiful. Nicely done. Okay, our forces control Mesta. We just need to fully capture it. Let's let our troops get into a defensive position there. Mi-24D in support. Bring up the artillery a little bit more. We'll have it hide over there so we can bring up supply for it. Have a supply truck come up. Counter artillery on our position. It seems to be very random and not very organized.
Zone capture.
Beautiful. Our troops are suppressed, though. I think we're just going to keep dug in if we can. If our troops stay stationary long enough, they will dig in. And I think that gives them a bonus against incoming fire. Let's go ahead and check out what's in front of us. And then we'll call out a Su-25. I believe air support like that is a new part of the game. Let's go ahead and give air defense threat low. Look at that, telling us the risk of going in there. White Su-25, equivalent of like the A-10 in a way. Is that the Frogfoot? Anyway, let's see where it's at. Oh, here it is. I hear it. Yep, there she is. I remember aircraft before, though, but maybe we have new aircraft or they work differently. Although I don't remember napalm. I've never called it until now. Well, I bet they regret that air support low warning, yeah. Well, goodbye to that plane. But now we know the enemy has air support out there somewhere. Let's come at them again. Wide attack on the right. And we'll let one group stay there just in case counterattacks. And our supply can stay there too. Well, so much for that napalm, huh? My air support never survives in these games. I'm not shocked in the slightest. There's no game that I can ever get in and get out with aircraft. Other people get 45 missiles fired at their aircraft as it's escaping. No problem. Me, I can't even dodge like 2 missiles. Nothing. All right, let's zoom in a little closer. Okay, we're being counter artillery. Let's move up. Artillery and supply will move up. And let's get our troops out. I see enemy contact there. Gonna push over that way to the right. And we need our tanks up. Oh, wrong button. T-72Ms are what we want. Okay, we're gonna give our forces support. They see us there on that side. Let's back it up. There you can see them getting in place whenever they stay stationary for long enough, I believe. Oh, these units are now suppressed. Germans are going to now have to deal with some very nice Czechoslovakian artillery, which I don't know what size that is. Let's just say it's over 100 millimeters, obviously. All right, let's get the Mi-24D up. We do have a threat of anti-aircraft, but it seems to be over here. I don't know what their range is, so let's just kind of test the waters. And would you look at that? Our forces have entered the town. I believe that might just be the vehicles there. But we should have one of the objectives taken. Our time is at the top at 16 minutes. Now, of course, we can always bring this helicopter back to our supply area or our initial starting area to fully resupply. We don't have to just retreat it. But it's good to do for repairs. Alright, our comrades have done a great job. Bring our forces up again, and now the T-72s are back on the line. After that initial beating. They've done a great job. Indeed, there is a zone captured. Let's get some more supply. The supply will be for the artillery. And for the helicopter. Well, no, the helicopter can get its own supply. Let's go fast, though, if we can. We're going to secure this right flank. And we're going to secure this road. So next, obviously, we're going to have to take this position because this is a good jump-off point to the right and left. And it's going to be a forest battle, which is cool because we've got plenty of infantry. So that should be fine. We also have to scout out remaining enemy forces, so we just need to find them. We might not need to destroy them. So at each of these positions, we should be scouting. So there we go. That should be 2 more. Or rather, I guess we know something's there, but we don't know what. I guess we need them to shoot at us, although I would argue the damn recon should tell us what's there. Well, let's scout them out with a little fire suppression, shall we? Air defense low, we'll see about that. They're going to swing through this town. Here comes our aircraft again. Here are man pads, so we shouldn't have to worry about additional enemy forces. Didn't I mark here? That was the world's worst napalm. Okay. Anyway, the enemy does have napalm. I mean, man pads, so that's fun. Okay, let's get our forces ready to go. We're going to resupply these infantry who've been hit by enemy attacks. And then we're going to have to push off because we got 15 minutes remaining. Another fire support vehicle. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to do the goal of scouting out 29 enemy forces because honestly, what would be best here would be a scout helicopter. Then again, that'd be hit by man pads. So I guess the best thing to do would have some sort of airborne special infantry and then drop them behind the enemy lines and just get close and kind of just sneak along all these flags. But the enemy could also try to counterattack us. I think we'll get down to maybe 10. I don't know if I'll be able to complete this. But honestly, this is roguelite. Like, if we complete the objective, great, we get extra points, but we could have units die. So it could be a thing where we not disobey orders, but we don't push as deliberately, aggressively as they're asking. Fire support under attack. That's over on the left. Let's get these troops out of here. It's gotta be Martyrs, I think. Or Bradleys? They don't look like Martyrs. They're not Bradleys, though. And they, of course, have man pads, so that sucks. The artillery's not firing. There they go. Okay, let's resupply for a bit. I don't think our tanks have fuel in this game either, so just like in World in Conflict, we don't have to worry about that. Actually, in World in Conflict, we didn't have to worry about anything other than like specials, and those just had a cooldown. In that game, your vehicles were able to, you know, deploy like a heat shell or like smoke, but only so often. Okay, let's keep our supply truck here just in case. And let's push ahead slowly. And then we'll bring our supply over this way. And we'll have the artillery fire again. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's bad. That's a lot of enemy fire. My 24 is hitting whatever's on that hill. Get those troops out of there. Okay, they are successfully retreating. They'll be able to disengage. Those troops took some losses, but they are able to get out. They'll be able to lick their wounds, and we'll bring in more. Oh, yep, counterattack here. No surprise. Have these troops fall back. Have those troops hit them. Have the helicopter fall back. Lots of successful hits on that target up top. We can fall back here. I need more supply. Banging music right now. Awesome. And that artillery doing a great job keeping them suppressed and actually making that unit flee. That position should no longer be defended. They also set up a lot of barbed wire here, so our assault from this direction was a wise idea. Alright, some of our forces are in placing. I actually think in this game you can see the day-night cycle take place, or clouds will pass over. Maybe there's even, I think, rain and stuff like that. I've always been impressed with this one. I don't know. Anybody who's making an RTS that's kind of like trying to do something that's worked, yet do it in a different way, I'm all for. I do see some people creating games that are similar to, like, well, Company of Heroes. For example, the one game called, oh, it was a diesel punk game by the name of Iron Harvest. I think it was 1939 or something like that. It was great. I was really happy to see that game. And I want to see more bangers. All right, we're not going to have enough to supply everybody, but we do need to push out of this corner. We got 8 minutes, and we need to push through. We may have to abort our objective at Randy Newman. So you got a friend in me if we're going to take Kama. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to also scout out the area here just to make sure there's no surprises. Oftentimes you don't have this area recon, so this is an absolute blessing for now. And we do see a unit hidden up there, so we know that it could be potentially clear from here to here. So we're going to try to beeline it. And that will we will take losses, but that is our objective from command. So we're gonna at least try to do that. I don't think I could do the scout 24 other units out. There's no way. Okay, let's try to get a large group ready here. I think we should be safe to attack here. Our units will resist suppression if we use that card that I hovered over. And bye-bye supply. These guys can haul ass back to base and we can go get more. Now, actually, they should be able to drive here, I think, and load up, but I'm just going to have them retreat because they may have taken some damage from artillery. It looks like we're 100% on the helicopter. Okay, let's have our forces peek at the enemy a little bit. They'll make it there first, and then we'll clear this vast right flank, which might be a little too close to the enemy, but we have to go around those, unfortunately, the defenses there. So now our units are coming up. Helicopter will provide some emotional support. They're not dead yet. Artillery on the way. M113s and Germans in them. Outstanding. Pull that unit back. Okay, let's bring up the chopper. More artillery again, please. Fast move our units up to the intersection, then we're swinging left. Artillery is very close range. Beautiful. Okay, let's fly back for air support to be rearmed. And our units, unfortunately, are bogged down in that barbed wire. I think they can get through there over time. Oh, they could just go around. Let's just have them literally go around. All right, T-72s have arrived. We're capping. Infantry's on the way. All right, let's check supply. Oh, another counterattack.
5 minutes remaining.
Notice how here we can't really put a lot into our defense. We need to put a lot of stuff into the attack. Here we're being attacked from behind now. Germans coming up with Panzerjäger. Those T-72s to engage.
Zone captured.
Beautiful. Oh. Napalm sucks. They drop nowhere near the target and very little. Alright, we're going to beeline it. We're not going to have enough time for supply. We tried to keep everybody alive, but best we could do now is hope the enemy doesn't back cap us and move all the way to the objective. And they were smart, too. They set up a roadblock there. We'll make our troops rally before the fight so they don't retreat. We will probably take losses. A lot of them. Some people won't go home to have Palachinki or Svichkova, so. But I hope they had a good Pilsner beforehand. Okay, let's get in there and recon. We know there's a group over here on the left somewhere. Let's bog them down. Get our tank on the line. 3 minutes. What the hell was that unit? Was that a That may have been... No, I hope it's not a Panzer II. What the hell is that called? The Leo 2. A lot of vehicles on my mind. All this crap coming from the right side. Let's just go. No suppression. Don't even shoot back. Just get in the flag. Helicopter support here. Oh, I think those are Leo 2, aren't they? Those look like Leo 2s. Try to save the chopper. Artillery directly on those units. Switching artillery. How many shells do we have? I can't tell. Don't stop, keep going. I think we've knocked those vehicles out. It does appear that they've given up. Yep, another unit destroyed. Well, that's what we're going to use that war support or whatever for, the tactical points. More games need this damn mode, man. This is outstanding. Like, this is just so fun. It's really tricky, annoying in a way.
1 minute remaining.
But, like, really fun. We're problem solving. Now those guys over there should be able to hit us. We are behind this hill now. They're leaving. Dude, no way. I just looked over and I realized that like I maxed out my like hard drive and all my recordings, dude. I did win that battle, though. I hope we can take a look at that. We did complete the objective. I somehow at the last second took and held that position. The last like couple of seconds of it actually like got cut off. But I wonder if there's a way to see situation report. Stage done. I don't know if there's a way to see our performance, but I don't know. Anyway, I captured objective comma. And like literally the last second, I even went back and verified it to show that we had 5 out of 5 controlled zones. We would have had 4 if we didn't capture it. But yeah, sorry about that. I know, big upset, but whatever. Anyway, I did it on first try, so I feel proud. I don't care if you don't believe me. I know I did it. I just wish I could show it. But regardless, it doesn't matter. That was badass, and I want to play more of this game. I think actually I could pick up where I left off on the save too, so we could actually see like how we performed in stage 1, and we could go back and replay it. That's something it does allow you to do at the end that I was also trying to show off when I noticed it was cut. But yeah, so you can actually replay phases and redo those objectives, and then you can continue anytime you want. Each of these last about maybe 20-30 minutes, and that's cool, man, because like you could do a 10-phase campaign just like in Wargame, but it'll take a lot less time because of course you're not really worrying about like an kind of a map overview, but everything's kind of randomized as command would throw you random objectives. All right, well, that's it for our first look at Regiments Winds of Change, and also the first time I think I've checked it out since the new quote-unquote new mode, which is the under operations. If you go down here, the second wave DLC, which allows for a new Soviet and I think a NATO campaign, mostly focused around like quote-unquote Soviet and American units, but very cool to see the Dutch and whatnot in here. If you guys want to see another video on this one, if you want to see the Dutch, or wait, we haven't really played as Poland yet much in some of the previous battles, make sure you let me know down below in the comments section. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how you're doing. Don't be afraid to say hi and jump into some of our future live streams on the channel. Definitely like this if you'd like to have it seen by more people. I think it's our responsibility to make sure these games survive and thrive, because RTSs are great, but we need more of them, and they're certainly wonderful to see. So anyway, I will see you all next time. Thanks again for the positivity, kindness, and support, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.